Day 2 continuing on here in Frankfurt as the team from Czechia representing Europe, Africa makes their 2026 Senior League Softball World Series debut against the Southeast out of South Carolina. Day 2 well underway for these 10 teams making their way to the World Series here in Delaware. All teams, 10 teams, now in action. They have been put into 2 pools. The top 8 teams going to advance into single elimination play later this week. Ages 13 through 16 taking the field here, and we are in Pool B. Canada and Central out of Michigan, both undefeated in the pool. This will be Czechia's first game. Then at the bottom of the pool, Southeast and Hawaii out of the West, 0-2 as we get set here on our second day. And with that, we welcome you into Lions Field alongside 2-time SEC champion Riley West. I'm Dorian Kraft. Riley, Czechia making their debut. This will be Southeast's third game already in 2 days. Which side of that equation would you rather be on?
Yeah, that's a tough equation. I think I'd rather be South Carolina, having 3 games under my belt. I know they haven't had 2 that went their way, but this third one underway, they're going to want to get back on track. For Czechia, they're still going to deal with those first game jitters, so something they're going to have to play through.
It's been a long trip, literally and figuratively, for Czechia and manager Jitka Horova. Her offense, they thrive on timely hitting, but they do have power there in the 4 spot with Anna Rinklerova.
Yeah, they described her as focused and a powerful player. So when people get on in front of her, she gets even more focused with those higher pressure situations. Then you want to have power out of that 4 spot to hit some home runs.
Southeast turning back to Kate Sheely, who got the start in their opener yesterday. Sheely going 6 innings, picked up the loss on that one, but the statistics not really matching with what the final score line was.
Yeah, I thought she pitched really well. She's a down ball, drop ball pitcher, likes the bottom half of the zone. And when we talked to manager Brian Jones, we asked him what she can do differently, and she just had to make a few adjustments. The zone that she pitched in the first game was on the upper part, so just having to adjust her drop ball, being able to work it in different areas.
There are going to be some changes in the field for South Carolina. Malia Lewis getting the start behind the plate in this game. Stevens, Birchmore at second, Wheeler making the shift over to shortstop, Savannah Paget, the third baseman. Broughton, Earl, and Bonite keeping the same starting 3 in the outfield, left to right. The top 3 batters in the lineup for Czechia: Barankova, Frilova, and Yadelska. Umpires for this game: Andrew Schreiber is behind the plate, Brett Joyner, Troy Richardson, our crew chief, is out at second, and Jacqueline Wingate holding it down over at third. The first pitch, that one stays low and out to Johanna Barankova, the second baseman.
Dorian, going back to your initial question, which side would you rather be on? I think I might flip, because Czechia has been able to scout and watch South Carolina for 2 games. This is Czechia's first time, so South Carolina really doesn't know what players are going to do what, especially Barankova at the top. Is she going to slap soft, hard? Eventually could swing away.
What Barankova has done is take 2 balls low and out, and that was an issue for Sheely in the opener against Canada. Primarily a drop ball pitcher, wasn't getting that part of the zone, and that really didn't play to South Carolina's favor.
Yeah, I mentioned it being the upper part of the zone, higher strike zone. And as a drop ball pitcher, that's not your favorite. But having those games under their belt, having that first game start under Sheely's belt, now she knows how to work through maybe some of that adversity.
A special skill for Barankova. She speaks Czech, English, and German. That really comes in handy when you're playing in an international tournament. Corners drawn in at third, shortstop in line with the bag, and Birchmore in at second as that tapped away by Barankova, 2-2.
Yeah, some slapper defense, especially that left side of the infield playing in. But with the first baseman, Stevens, back, it's either between Sheely or Emma Grace Birchmore, the second baseman, to cover that right side of the field in front.
The 2-2 to Barankova to lead things off here in the top of the first inning. Put in play, grounder over to third. Paget gloves it, strong throw to first just in time to get the speedy Barankova.
I love that she took her time, Paget did, the third baseman. Fielding this, not rushing. Slappers tend to speed up defenses. because you're trying rushing to get the out because you know in the back of your head how speedy they are. Pageant did a good job staying down, being smooth.
Anna Fridlova, the third baseman, batting in the tool hole for Czechia. Took a first pitch strike.
Her coaches described her as quiet and composed. She keeps the game under control, stays calm under pressure, kind of just like that take that she had.
Like that one, liner over the first base bag, and Wojtek Kasper, assistant coach on this team.
That was a good job on the changeup to go towards the coach.
Really enjoyed our conversation with Wojtek Kasper. We really feel the passion that they have for this sport that's still growing over there in Czechia. 0-2. Just missed off the outside corner.
Fridlova calm and composed. Her takes are calm and composed. Doesn't really tell pitcher Sheely what she's looking for, what she's going to chase.
Stays up, patient at bat here from Fridlova after falling behind in the count 0-2. As you would expect, a lot of hockey fans coming out of Czechia. This includes Fridlova, loves softball, hockey. Maybe one of the most famous hockey players, Jaromír Jágr, used to play for the Pens. Put into play over to the right side, glove by Stevens, 3 unassisted.
That was kind of a half swing, check swing.
No pun intended.
By Fridlova. Sometimes when you get into 2-strike counts, got to think short and up. So that's the swing that you see. It's not slowing down your swing, it's just not worrying about your follow through. Because your follow through, it tends to open up that shoulder. So Fridlova, although that wasn't a hit, was able to stay on it, driving to the right side of the field.
Bara Yadelska, the shortstop. First pitch strike off of the outside corner.
With this Czechia lineup, they are patient, they like to work counts, good base running, so you're gonna see them take pitches.
Nice patience there on the off-speed pitch. Her good luck superstition, always had to put the right sock on first.
I'm the same exact way. I'm
Really?
right there with her. Right sock, left sock, same order, uniform every time. That familiarity makes it feel comfortable, makes it fit right.
That one skips in the dirt. Nice job by Lewis to keep it in front. 2-1.
But don't you think everyone kind of tends to put the one sock on?
I'm going to be honest, I've never thought about it that much.
From now on.
I will, every single time it's going to happen. 2 away here in the top of the first. Yadelska, hitter's count. It'll stay a hitter's count as Sheely misses low and outside, 3-1.
Yadelska, she also plays baseball. So having both experience in softball and baseball, softball, I know I'm biased, a little tougher with the pitcher, closer to the batter.
Sheely climbs the ladder, gets the swing, so a full count.
And I like that swing by Yadelska. Attacking a ball that's up, although she missed, it helped her get more on time. Whenever you swing the bat, it lets you know if you're late, if you're early, what adjustment you need to make.
First full count of the game for Sheely. The payoff. Down the middle, hit hard, but on the ground. 1-2-3 inning for Kate Sheely in South Carolina. Czechia goes down in order as Southeast will come to bat in the first. Brian Jones's South Carolina squad kept Czechia off the base pass in the top of the first inning as they will come to bat in the home half of the first. Mindy Wheeler and Savannah Paget in their loss against Michigan really set the tone. Paget had a day, 4 RBIs for Paget out of the 3-hole.
Yeah, she was so much fun to watch. Just great at bats, being aggressive. That combination by Wheeler getting on base. Broughton has also been moving her over, and Paget scoring some runs. I've just been really pleased and excited for this top of the lineup.
Only changes to the lineup are at the bottom as they will take on Neil Shveskova in the circle.
And Nilo does a curve, rise, drop, just about every pitch. Her change and her drop, her coach's totals are very similar. She tunnels them the same way, but because they look that similar, in the off speed, it gets batters to be out in front.
Wheeler, Broughton, Paget due up in the bottom of the first inning.
Leading off, number 7, Mindy Wheeler.
Wheeler led off the game against Michigan with a double, ended up scoring, and first pitch swinging fouled away.
One thing to note, Mila Sveskova, the pitcher, during warm-ups, she was kind of doing half speed coming in. And so batters, you really couldn't get your timing if you're on deck watching her warm-up pitches.
Leaves that one high. It really has it cupped in the hand. That can make it really difficult for a batter to pick up.
Yeah, it's really hard to see when you face a pitcher who blocks with their wrist kind of how they're gripping the ball on the seam. So you're not able to use those little things to help identify maybe what the pitcher's throwing.
Wheeler check swing as Shveskova goes up the ladder. Wheeler 2 for 3 in the game this morning, double and a single. Also had one of just 2 hits for South Carolina in their opener. Fouled into the screen. This is exactly what you want if you're Southeast out of your leadoff hitter.
Yeah, to see as many pitches as possible. Like I just said, Nila, the pitcher, was not pitching full speed, so it was tough to be able to get your timing, as well as her style of pitching. It's different in Czechia. She kind of, like you said, cups that wrist around the ball, and it almost feels like she has a delayed release.
Went off speed, spun it in outside for a ball, 2-2. Wheeler swung on and missed. First strikeout of the tournament for Shveskova.
And that was a nasty pitch up in the zone.
Now batting, number 8, Addie Broughton.
Shveska, Slovikova, the battery, Ringlerova, Barankova, Yadelska, and Friedlova around the infield. Yorotkova, Fribova, and Shabilova left to right. In the outfield, first pitch lifted out to center field. It's going to hang up in time for Fribova to come on and make the catch.
Looks like Sveskova in the circle has an off-speed rise ball. Looks like she takes something off of it when she goes up.
9, Savannah
So she caught Broughton out in front. The strikeout against Villers. The first batter, she was out in front once again, and that's a tough pitch as a batter. To your eye, an up ball seems faster velocity-wise. It's just the effective velocity zones. And so when you're able to go up, batters think it's going to be even faster, and then you're able to take something off of it. It's really effective.
Pipes the curveball in for a first pitch strike to Savannah Paget, who has had a whale of a tournament to this point. 4 for 6, a double, 4 ribbies in the game this morning.
Yeah, she's seeing it like a beach ball right now.
Aggressive swing, but quickly behind in the count, 0-2.
That's the thing about rise ball pitchers, is if you don't lay off the rise ball, you have to be on top of it to counter the up spin of the ball. If not, you get yourself an 0-2 counts, fouling pitches off, and that's exactly what Sveskova wants out of her first 2 pitches.
Paget wears 7 because of Mickey Mantle. Off speed, left it alone. Just feel like there's even softball, baseball, there's such a respect for the history of the game with the players that are coming through here. I've seen a lot of vintage or old school favorites.
Yeah, definitely been well educated on the players that have come before them.
Up and out, 2-2.
And that seems like that's the hard rise ball from Nila Sveskova in the circle.
As if rise balls weren't hard enough to hit already.
Exactly. Sometimes you got to say, this is not fair as a batter.
The 2-2 from Sveskova. Second strikeout. She bookends the frame as South Carolina goes down in order. We're scoreless after the first. Czechia making a point in regional, 6-1 on their road to this World Series here in Delaware. They outscored their opponents 48-10, and 5 of their 6 wins decided by 5 or more runs. They had to have a bounce-back victory, though, over Lombardia. Lost to them on Saturday night, came back, had to then beat them again in that winner-take-all game to advance here. Lombardia, the host of that regional tournament.
So that's one of the tougher positions to be in, playing a team that's already beat you. You always say in softball, you're not going to play the same team twice. Even if it's the same team on the front of their jersey, everyone comes out different whether you've won or lost.
Home deck stays on their side? You need to come back over here. Yeah, home deck stays, okay.
Home plate umpire bringing the batter back over to their respective dugout. It is worth noting that that regional tournament was in Italy, so Czechia representing the Africa and Europe region for Little League, and that involves so much travel, and we've heard that from the international squads across the board.
Yeah, that's a factor definitely playing in for these teams. So yeah, we talked about Southeast playing, this is their 3rd game, but Southeast didn't have to travel across the world like other teams on the international side, so international side getting some extra rest.
Yeah, slightly shorter trip from Irmo, South Carolina, as Linglarova puts that in play hard to the shortstop. Gloved by Wheeler, 1 away.
And this is the Kate Sheely that you wanted to see game 1. A lot of ground balls and her defense playing behind her, her trusting her defense, them rolling these ground balls, making them look easy.
I do have action already in the Czechia pen. Now, again, having an extra day off, getting those arms warm.
That looks like Lucy Alamkova out there getting warm. And sometimes they might not be getting loose to get in the game. They might just be throwing a bullpen after some of the rest, like you said.
Swung on and missed. Over top is Yorotkova, as Sheely is doing what she does best. She's been rolling ground balls up until this point. Yorotkova, lots of Disney love, favorite movies, Tangled, Moana, although she didn't specify it was the live action or the animated version. Hit hard, but foul.
Those are some good Disney movies. Tangled, I think, is one of my favorite princess movies.
Underrated for sure.
Underrated. Disney movies just have such good music.
Agreed. Again, I'm older than you are. I'm old school. I'm still going Little Mermaid. It's a classic for a reason.
Speaking of music, Yurodkova is the best singer on the team.
Chopper, tough play for Wheeler. Oh, got her.
And the Czechia dugout is already saying, telling their coach to check out this play. A high hopper to Wheeler at shortstop. I don't know, that was a tough play. To me, before the replay, I thought that Yurodkova was safe, but Czechia not going to try and challenge early in the game.
Well, there was some, as a first pitch strike to Slovikova, there was some communication between Kasper and Horova at first and third about whether or not that was worth going for a challenge. Ultimately decided no. Still early on in a scoreless game, top of the second. You may need those as you get deeper into the game. You get unlimited successful challenges too if you're incorrect.
Yeah. Kasper, the first base coach, he was looking at the dugout, and I was watching all the girls in the dugout. They were motioning, check it, check it. Use your challenge.
You got to be economical about it.
Yeah.
Right underneath the glove of Wheeler as she was ranging into the hole. First base runner of the tournament for Czechia on a 2-out single.
Slavkova did a good job with the drop ball, the first one that's able to sneak through the infield. Hitting a drop ball pitcher, you have to get your back knee below the ball. Rather than dropping your barrel and creating that habit of looping your barrel, you have to get your body in line to still have a flat bat. So when you're able to get to that position, you can hit it hard, hit it through the hole like 5-6 hole.
Wind really picking up here on Lions Field as Cloudy Shabiva, the right fielder, stepping to the plate. Da Vinci Code is a favorite book. That is a really good read. I'm gonna be down with anything that's a Dan Brown book. Big cut, swung right over top of the drop ball.
And that's the hard part of a drop ball pitcher. If you go for it, you want to over adjust, not swing on top of it, but like I just mentioned, getting your back knee below, setting up your barrel to be flat through the zone.
That one stays well low and out.
Also feels like Sheely has some more pop coming out of the circle. The pop of Malia Lewis behind the plate in her glove. It sounds like Sheely has a little more velocity on this down ball.
The 1-2. Lace down the left field line. What a snag! Addie Broughton on a full sprint to make the catch.
Addie Broughton showing off those wheels, having her pitcher's back. The tail of the lefty going towards the line. Doesn't even have to lay out. Addie Broughton, show us your speed.
South Carolina went undefeated in their run through the regional tournament. That doesn't mean it was without adversity. Had to come from behind in their opener. Ended up taking that one in extra innings before playing against Georgia for the championship. That was a 1-0 victory as Sheely leading things off. That one hit a country mile, but well foul.
That's a long strike if you're the pitcher, Mila Zveskova. You take that and you say, thank you, I'm glad it's foul. But that was one of the better swings we've seen from South Carolina on this rise ball, getting better on time.
Now Zveskova getting through the bottom of the first inning with relative ease, only threw 12 pitches, 8 of those were for strikes.
And 2 strikeouts, both with an off-speed rise ball, something that I'm going to keep watching to see if she's taking a little velocity off of it. Because the difference between that pitch that you just saw down in the zone, from up here, I know how tough that is as a hitter. To see down and fast, you think it's going to be fast when it goes up, and then it's just not the same speed.
Sheely Lewis Earl due up for South Carolina. Sheely collects rubber ducks. Her mom gives them to her. I love that. That's going to mean so much as she continues to get older. Piped it in on the inside corner, 2-2.
Yeah, Sheely in the circle. On the other side of the ball, coaches told us she is the leader. They want the bat in her hands when the game's on the line. How about that? A game on the line, you want the bat in your pitcher's hands.
Oh, driven high and deep. Kate Sheely, a rocket home run for her first hit of the tournament.
That's a home run for Kate Sheely.
And Dorian, we talked a little bit about Sheely being due coming into this game. Her first hit, and when you're due, you drive a ball. She drove that into the trees. And look, when her front foot is down, immediately her back hip transfers weight into the ball. She stays through it. Look how high up into the trees that is. Wow, what a swing by Sheely. Just absolutely unleashes on that pitch. Help yourself out. She's the pitcher on the other side of the ball. Gets across the first run.
Well, that ball hit so far, there's a search party out trying to find it past the left center field fence. Lewis lifts it. Will it be playable? It will not. It's going to get out of play. By my estimate, I'm going to guess that ball's probably, what do you think, 240 feet?
Absolutely. And even further, the way it landed kind of 35, maybe 40 feet up high. Yeah, there is a search party. Maybe some of the sideline brothers and sisters going out there to find the home run ball.
That was one of the best hit balls that we've seen throughout the entire tournament. Keep going. Zveskova, that one stays high. If you are Czechia and Zveskova, you give up a huge home run like that, southeast with some momentum. How do you resettle in and focus on getting the next batter?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that pitch. It's already gone. You have to just have that next play mentality. And that's not just for that pitch, but softball in general.
Chop to second. 4-3 in the books as Lewis is retired for the first out of the inning.
And that's that next pitch and that next play mentality. Zveskova rolling a ground ball after that big hit. And just going back a little bit to the big hit of Sheely. That first swing, if you remember, she launched a ball foul towards left. She was on time from the very first pitch. So if you're South Carolina, you take that and you run with it. Everyone be on time from the very first pitch. With the rise ball pitcher, if they miss, that ball can go out.
Rylan Earl, 1 for 5 in the tournament, does have an RBI. Picked that up in the loss against Michigan. It was a soft single through the middle of the field.
Yeah, Earl had some good discipline at bats, worked a lot of counts. That's what slappers do best until they get the pitch they want.
That one out in front on the front foot, 1-1. So she was looking forward to bonding with her teammates, meeting new people, and hopefully winning in this tournament. And we saw a really nice display of sportsmanship at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, we even saw Czechia give South Carolina a bag that had Prague on it as a gift. They all trade pins and give each other high fives. Just, I love the sportsmanship at this age. And when we had our coaches meetings and we talked to coaches that this might be their second or third time at the tournament, we asked them what the girls' favorite part is. A lot of them said softball, but a lot of them said just staying in the dorms, getting to talk to girls from different countries, learning about other cultures, and that's just as fun as it gets.
Infield drawn in for Earl. Swung over top of it, 2-2. They still have the corners playing slightly in. You got to respect the speed of a lefty slapper.
Yeah, my thing is if I'm an infielder, I'm not letting a slapper beat me in front. I'm going to force them to drive a ball.
It's a good spot, and Shveskova wanted it, but just off the outside corner, full count.
Earl picking up where she left off. Last game, working a count, fouling things off.
First full count of the game for Shveskova. Dropped, but picked up down to first. No trouble with it as Earl is retired via the strikeout.
Just a little bit of confusion. They thought it was strike 3, but look at this pitch down in the zone. I really like that Slavikova behind the plate set that lane after the drop third strike on the inside part of the field. She didn't rush knowing the speed of the slapper Earl getting down the line. She took her time creating that lane, so it was a direct throw to first base. That was just very mature by her behind the plate.
Lainey Stevens stepping in, looking for her first hit of the tournament. She says she looks up to her dad because he works hard, he's nice, and he lives life to the fullest.
What a great role model, living life to the fullest. I think Lainey Stevens is doing that right now, playing in the Little League World Series. That's living it to the fullest, in my opinion.
Shveskova getting ahead in the count, 0-2 on the rise ball. The 0-2 stays low. I feel like Shveskova is doing a really nice job of mixing levels.
Absolutely. She's going hard and down. She's going off-speed rise, very vertical, heavy. And as a hitter, that's my least favorite.
1-2. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts. Make it 4 for the Czechia hurler. We're through 2 complete. And South Carolina with a 1-run lead. Little League and ESPN are proud members of the Aspen Institute's Project Play 63x30, which is focused on getting 63% of kids playing sports by 2030. Learn more about what Little League is doing to get kids on the field and all about the ESPN Take Back Sports Initiative by visiting littleleague.org/projectplay. Sheely standing in with a 1-run lead after she hit a solo shot in the bottom of the second inning. She will face the bottom of the Czechia order, 8-9-1, Shvetsova, Fribova, and Barankova. Takes that one low, 1-1. And Czechia has put the ball in play hard. Nothing really to show for it yet to this point.
Yeah, and that's because Sheely's been doing a great job commanding the bottom half of the zone. She's a drop ball pitcher. Struggled a little bit game 1, finding the zone. Game 2 looks like she's rolling. And what more confidence can you have as a pitcher to bottom half of the second inning, score the team's first run on a monster bomb, and then pitching the way that you are? I know that home run gave her even more confidence. She's getting the bottom half of the zone.
Just missed, did Shvetsova. The color Mackie.
Her talent, she said, is to rage bait everyone. I
Does that include opposing pitchers?
That could be a good strategy.
Left it up and out. How would you rage bait an opposing pitcher? Stepping in and out of the box, taking time?
Yeah, and I think fouling off a ball like she just did, bait them to throw you balls that are off the plate, maybe take a walk. She fouled one off straight back, barely missed it.
Swung on and missed in the dirt. Lewis looked like she gloved it, threw it down to first anyway to make sure of the out.
That time, Kate Sheely baited Shvetsova on the bottom half of the zone, on the inner half as well. Look at that, in the river. Then Lewis doing a good job just confirming to the umpires, can't hurt.
Always taught to play until you hear the confirmation. Number 9 hitter, Emma Fribova, the center fielder. Hear the cheers coming from the Czechia dugout. First pitch strike delivered by Sheely.
And I love hearing the cheers in different languages throughout this tournament. During my time, I got to play different countries as well, and it's just so interesting because you can kind of hear the tune, and you're trying to make out exactly which cheer they're going for.
I'm already here now.
I heard our colleagues Chucky Kempf and Allison Shipman talking about this on their broadcast, talking about how you know you're getting old when you're getting to the meme stage and you're not recognizing what any of these things are about the players are putting on the meme. The only one that I've seen that I know is 6'7", but I still don't know what that means.
I don't even think they know what it means.
Well, I know what 1-2 means. It means that Sheely is ahead in the count here in the top of the third. Taking a lot of time between pitches here. Sheely sets, chopped right back to her. No problem with that one. Sheely over to first as she has set down every batter in order but one. A single by Slavikova, the lone hit as we get back to the top of the order.
Sheely has fully settled in, it looks like. She's getting the bottom half of the zone. She's enticing Czechia to swing on the top of it, rolling their hands over, and that's creating some ground balls. But the defense behind Sheely has been outstanding, and then just fielding one herself, a little PFP action.
6 ground ball outs for Kate Sheely up until this point. Second time through the lineup for Czechia. Barankova, one of those ground outs. It was to third in her first at bat. What's the most important adjustment for them to make?
Yeah, there's 2 things you can do. Either see it up, but if you're not being able to identify a ball more up in the zone and you're continuing to go for the bottom half of the zone, you got to over adjust. If I'm a batter, I might even think about golf swinging to be able to put this ball in the air. Because sometimes that adjustment, when you think about swinging like a golf swing, it ends up just being a line drive to the outfield. So there's two ways you can go about it, but I'm going to try and make an over adjustment because Sheely's ball has so much bite on it. You haven't seen many batters be able to lay off.
Marankova, older sister, plays for the U22 national team back in Czechia. Facing an 0-2 count here. Sheely checking the sign. Finally, she and Lewis on the same page. The 0-2. Marankova stays alive.
And for Marankova, as a slapper, she might not have to think as much of that golf swing, getting her body in plane with the ball. A drop ball, she can drive into the ground, chop, slap it, give herself some time to use that speed to be safe at first. So for a slapper, this can work to your advantage at other points.
That one skips in the dirt. Nice job by Lewis. A ball on the batter, 1-2.
I need to know who the catching coach is for this South Carolina team. Both Lewis and the previous catcher, West, behind the plate, have done a great job in their 3 games of keeping balls in front.
Swung on and missed. Second 1-2-3 inning of the game for Sheely. South Carolina still up 1 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Professional softball is returning to Greenville, North Carolina for the 2026 AUSL Pro Game presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, set to take place on Wednesday, August 5th. Learn more at littleleague.org/athletesunlimited. What a full day of softball action then coming up tomorrow. You can stay with us here for the Senior League Softball World Series. Check out the AUSL game. What better way to spend a day?
How fun is that? Pros coming out, playing the game. Great role models for all of these young players and Athletes Unlimited. Doing a great job expanding this past year.
Evie Adeline at the plate, the DP. Shvestova going back to that rise ball that has been so effective. Adeline was 0 for 2 at the plate yesterday against Canada. Did not play earlier against Michigan. It'll be Adeline, Birchman, and then the top of the order for South Carolina. Called strike. I like the confidence from Shvestova to continue to go after these South Carolina hitters.
Yeah, she's doing what good pitchers do best. Working ahead, staying ahead. Didn't even phase her. The home run just immediately bounced back.
Climbs the ladder again, another strikeout. Make it 3 straight for Shvestova.
Shvestova is settled in and really spinning this rise ball. Look how she cups it and then it rises. That one started at the thigh, rose to the belt, maybe a little higher than the belt. Sometimes she throws it off speed, sometimes she throws it hard. That is extremely hard for a batter to see the same spin, but sometimes it's slower and sometimes it's fast.
Emma Grace Birchman, first pitch swinging. Birchman got the start against the defending champions out of Grand Blanc, Michigan. Starting at second base here in this second of 2 for South Carolina. Tough ask in the schedule, back-to-back for a doubleheader. Ball on the outside corner. Teams play doubleheaders anymore? I feel like everything's gone to the baseball style for the most part as you get older.
Yeah, back in our day when we played, we were playing 5 games in one day.
Same. We are not the same. Unfortunately enough for me, we are not. But yes, we did play doubleheaders and had no lights. Big swing from Birchman. We also walked uphill both ways to the field in the snow. And in Blacksburg, I absolutely mean that.
Yeah, Virginia Tech, Blacksburg, top of the mountain. Tough weather up there.
Yeah, we played some games against Tennessee back in my day. Monica Abbott, that was a fun one, and I don't mean that. The 1-2. Another strikeout for Shveskova, 6 so far in the game. What is it about her pitching that is so effective?
It's her ability to command this top of the zone, and then as well as move it on both sides of the plate, the rise ball, but that one almost had kind of a screw spin, tailing away from a lefty. It's just really impressive what she's been able to do in this game, and the past 2 innings really settling in, getting even better.
You'll call it a cries, a slice, screw rise?
I think a scries sounds pretty cool.
Okay. Does not sound cool if you're standing in at the plate. Mendy Wheeler was the first strikeout victim of Shveskova to start things off in the bottom of the first inning. Fouled right back into the screen. Wheeler didn't miss it by much.
Dorian, it feels like both sides of the ball is a completely different approach. South Carolina is trying to adjust to a rise ball in the top part of the zone, and Czechia is trying to adjust to the down part of the zone against Sheely. So both teams having to have an opposite approach. It starts with identifying with your eyes and being able to lay off of it. And if you do swing, you gotta be top half.
Took some off of that as Wheeler tried to hold up, able to tap it away to stay alive. Action still going on in the Czechia pen. There have been players working. Klara Dostova is the one that is warming up out there, number 5. Lucy Hemlokova is also out there. Catches the top of the zone, sat down in order, make it 5 straight strikeouts, part of 7 Ks. South Carolina still on top.
Number 9.
Welcome back, top of the 4th inning, still 1-0 in favor of the team out of the Southeast. South Carolina is Czechia getting into the second time through their order. Friedlova, Yadelska, and Ringlorova facing a hard-throwing Kate Sheely, who has been dominating the bottom half of the zone.
Yeah, it feels like we have a little bit of a pitcher's duel going on. We've seen a lot of high-scoring games so far in this tournament, so a little bit of a change to pitchers dominating in two different pitching styles. Sheely's complete down ball, down the zone, a lot of ground balls, and then for Czechia, it's been Nila Sveskova in the circle, dominating the top half of the zone, ton of strikeouts.
That time going down in the zone, ahead in the count 0-2 as Sheely has gotten ahead of 6 straight batters, and when you are doing that, successful.
Yeah, that would be called a ball if there wasn't a swing, but it means Sheely has great break on it. It looks enticing. If I'm a batter, I'm gonna think belt high. If anything that's not at my belt, I'm gonna let go. If you go for something that's mid-thigh, by the time it gets you, it's probably gonna be at the knee. So if you look belt, you might get something that ends thigh high.
The 0-2. Friedlova leaves it low, and I love what she did. Sheely has been taking some time in between pitches. She hasn't always wanted what the call has been, and so Friedlova taking a step out to reset. As a batter, I used to love to do that. I'm gonna make you play to my cadence. 1-2. Line drive, that finds some green. Friedlova on with a leadoff single.
Friedlova did a good job of finding a ball up in the zone. Look at this, about thigh high, doesn't even finish her swing. The follow through was not needed. Just going through extension, just poking a ball out to right center. Doing a good job of staying on that pitch, not pulling off of it.
A great spot for Bara Yadelska. Coaches say she is the leader of this team. Really tries to rally everyone behind her, and the 3-hole big swing, that's lifted. Broughton underneath it, 1 out away, is just missed that one by about a 1/4 inch.
And that's the adjustment that you honestly want to see from Czechia if you're their coach. One of the first balls that have been lifted. Yadelska did a good job of picking this pitch up, getting that back knee, like I've said, below the ball. That allows your body to get in line so you can have a flat barrel. That time she just dropped her barrel a little bit. If she has a flat path, her body was in line to hit a hard line drive.
Ringlerova, been the most consistent hitter in this Czechia lineup, stepping in. Grounded out to shortstop to start the second inning. Czechia has had 2 base runners today. Neither one have advanced past first up until this point. Sheely really trying to work down here in the middle of the order.
Yeah, I think she's gotten better as the game has gone on. Even more command of her pitches, spotting it very well. The first game we saw her, we saw quite a few wild pitches in the dirt, crossing up her catcher. This time, throwing it exactly where her catcher set up and spotting it well.
And hit the spot, but Ringlerova not biting on the drop ball. To your point, Sheely picked up the loss against Canada, went 5 innings, gave up 7 runs, 4 of those were earned, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts through 114 pitches. 3-0, called strike on the inside corner.
There's one way to beat a drop ball pitcher, force them to bring it up. Do not swing at the drop balls below the knee, that would be called the ball. Ringlova's been the best at being patient. Her coach has said she's highly focused.
Oh! Watch out. That was on the scissor lift. Nearly got a piece of our camera down the right field line.
Our camera crew's selfless. We've seen quite a few foul balls going in their direction. No flinching, no moving. Just that high focus on capturing these amazing moments that we've gotten to see the past 2 days.
Full team effort here in Lower Sussex County. Happy to have you with us. Full count. Hard on the ground to second. We'll get the easy out at first. Birchmore gets the shore out. It does allow Friedlova to move into scoring position.
Good job by Sheely to spot this on the outside corner. Kind of hit off the end of the bat of Ringlova. Made for the easy out to go one. I think because it was slower rolling. Birchmore did a good job of just getting it out rather than trying to force a play at second base.
Anna Yerodkova grounded out to shortstop, tapped. Has some funky spin on it. It will stay foul for the first strike. First time today that Czechia has had a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, if you're Yerodkova, you're gonna try and think, lift this ball to the outfield. Hopefully that over adjustment makes it a line drive that gives your runner time to score.
Went for the bunt, tried to put it down, runner on the move. She's into third with a stolen base. So Friedlova putting on the wheels.
And I love this by Czechia. The fake bunt, ball in the dirt, allows for the runner to sneak over to third. Now a ground ball, any bobble by the infield gives the runner time to get home as well as the batter potentially being safe at first. The big difference from second to third, especially with the drop ball pitcher.
Chopped. Wheeler to first, got her by a step as Sheely works out of her first jam of the game. Czechia strands a runner at third. South Carolina leads it by 1.
We got a little bit of a pitcher's duel going here at Lions Field. Nila Sveskova for Czechia is just dominating this South Carolina offense. Her rise ball is spinning throughout the zone, working it at all levels. That one belt high can even go higher to chest high, helmet high. She's shown us just about everything. Even finishing off with a strikeout. Looking, when you're going against a rise ball pitcher, batters start to guess if the ball is going to continue to rise, and so they tend later on in the game to get more strikeout looking. But I've just been very impressed by Nila in the circle to work it at all levels throughout every count, starting at low with 2 strikes going even further up.
First pitch lifted down the third base line. Will it stay playable just? But the catch not able to be made. That's very tough there as Broughton escapes. We'll get another swing at it. And the only blemish on the line for Sveskova is the solo home run.
Now look at how tough this play is for the third baseman, Vidolva. You got to do 2 things. Number 1, find the fence, because you never want to run straight into the fence going full speed. And then that ball almost looked like it tailed back in fair play. It was a really close play. A really good job by her to track it down. All-out effort. I'm liking what I see from the Czechia defense.
I can confirm you do not want to run into the fence on one of those. I've done that more times than I would like to count. Broughton, Paget, Sheely due up for South Carolina here in the bottom of the 4th. Skips away in the dirt.
Good count.
Addie Broughton, of many talents beyond being good at softball, plays the electric guitar and the trumpet.
Musically inclined, can play softball at a high level. I was never able to really play instruments very well.
Line just off the glove. It's short of Yadelska. Tough play to make. Leadoff runner on for South Carolina.
And definitely one of the best swings and adjustments we have seen from South Carolina. Look how Broughton gets on top half of this up pitch. That's at her chest, and she's able to hit a low line drive because of her barrel path. That's an adjustment that if you're in the dugout, that fires you up. It worked for her. I'm going to try and make it work for myself. That's how you beat a rise ball pitcher. If you're continuing to swing at the rise ball, you got to be top half.
Snapped a streak of 5 straight batters retired via the strikeout as Savannah Paget struck out to end the first inning. And this is the part of the order where you're Shveskova and Czechia. You've been pitching well, you've been playing well, but you have to really lock down here. 3, 4, 5 in the order with the leadoff batter on. This could get dicey if you're not careful. Paget again going after the rise ball.
Yeah, especially because it's looking like a pitcher's duel. And so it's been hard for you on the offensive side if you're Czechia to score a run. So you really have to limit the runs. Looking to go for the lead runner, maybe even turn a double play. Second baseman, Barankova. She was shifted over. She just moved back to be right in line.
Line drive laced out to center field. What a grab! Freebova had it. Throw to first, not in time. Savannah Paget robbed of what looked like a surefire extra base hit.
Look at the first step of center fielder Freebova. It was immediately back. Did a great job of keeping that glove tucked, and then last second raising it out. Just really close to getting that double play, something that I know Nila Sveskova in the circle would have loved. But defense having her back. You also have to give Paget, the batter, a tip of your cap for that swing. That's 2 back-to-back line drives coming from South Carolina, making that adjustment. You have to assume that they were having conversations in the dugout before this inning. They were going to be more top half.
I don't know if you saw her expression going back to the dugout, little shrug. Sheely going after the rise ball. This is what she did the last time at the plate.
And look at that swing. There was a search party going to find that ball. Absolutely demolished it. Her first hit of the tournament. What a way to have your first hit.
I did not see the search party come back with that ball.
They're still looking.
Probably. The 1-1. That one stays up and out.
And Dorian, we talked about it during the break, that Sheely, from her first swing, it looked like she was trying to hit a home run. She had a really long foul ball, and sometimes when you haven't had a hit in a tournament, you just got to tell yourself, you know what, I'm swinging for the fences. Whatever happens, happens. That was the most free swings that I've seen from her throughout the tournament.
Now Sheely is the oldest grandchild, wants to be a role model for her younger cousins. Again, going after the rise ball. Shveskova has really gotten that up above the shoulders and out of the strike zone.
Yeah, when someone hits a home run as far as Sheely did against you, you gotta take it out of the zone as much as you can.
2-2. Again, this one though, all the way to the backstop. Broughton on her horse. She's into scoring position.
If you're a pitcher in the back of your mind, you have to remember what a batter did before. So I think that miss is because Sveskova is trying to do anything she can to not give up another home run to Sheely.
Both balls that have been put in play this inning by South Carolina have been barreled up well. So now a full count. The payoff. That one skips in the dirt. Broughton again on the move. A great read by Addie Broughton, and there's runners on the corners.
It's a patient at bat by Sheely. 2 swings at balls that were up in the zone, and then Broughton did a good job. As soon as this ball kicked away from the catcher, Slavikova, she did a good job of advancing. Makes a big difference when you have runners on the corners. You can create some chaos with the first and third play.
South Carolina manager Brian Jones going to home plate umpire Andrew Shriver, and it looks like we're going to get a couple of changes as we've got a new pitcher headed towards the circle and a pinch runner coming on for South Carolina. It'll be Brianna Boyle that goes to first.
I think she was actually giving sunglasses because we do have some cloud coverage.
There we go.
Now, so you know what? If I'm an infielder, I'll take it. I'll give my sunglasses to coach any day to not have to deal with those sunballs.
The clouds have moved in here in Frankfurt. First pitch strike to Malia Lewis on the inside corner. That had a little extra pop to it.
It definitely did. Anna was down in the zone. Now we see sunglasses from pitchers. Sveskova getting passed to coach. It did get a little bit darker here all of a sudden from some cloud coverage.
The temperature has dropped as well. Still a little humid here in the area. Now, you know my favorite part of the surveys and the questionnaires is the food. Malia's favorite food, burger. Solid choice as she swings through that.
I just don't think you can go wrong with a burger.
I mean, solid choices. We some chicken nuggets, burgers, cheese quesadillas.
Lasagna.
Yes, let's just have a cookout.
Exactly.
I'm here for it.
For Lewis, it's really important she can get a ball up, drive it to the outfield, doesn't take a hit to score a run right now with just one out.
It's a good job behind the plate by Slovikova to keep that ball by her side.
As a batter, I love this situation. You can get a sacrifice fly, drive something to the outfield any way you can.
I was a big fan of a squeeze bunt. Lewis tapped it away foul. Of course, to have either one of those, you need to have the right personnel on the base runners, more so in a squeeze situation than a sacrifice fly.
And I do think they have the right personnel with Broughton on third base. I just think the pitching you're going against matters a lot. And when you have a rise ball, it's really hard to bunt a rise ball, especially with the squeeze on when you are forced, no matter what, to keep your barrel out there and put a bat on the ball.
The 1-2. Off speed, got her swinging. Runner does go to second on the changeup, but 2 away. Make it 8 strikeouts now for Sveskova.
And that pitch was as filthy as it gets. She took so much off of that, and she even kind of worked it up. So it reminds the batter of the rise ball, looked a little bit more down. Lewis out in front of that. I don't even know if she got that front foot down later, kept those hands back, she probably still wouldn't have hit it hard just because it was that much of a differential in speed.
Earl popped up on the infield. How about that? 2 runners on for South Carolina. Can't bring them home. It stays a 1-0 game as we go to the 5th. Kate Sheely has been a one-woman wrecking crew, starting with a solo shot.
Now this ball was absolutely destroyed to left center field. just crushed, but she's also doing in this circle a lot of strikeouts, a lot of ground balls, helping herself out, some PFP action. She's commanding the bottom half of the zone, making it really hard for Czechia to be able to lay off of the down part. She's good bite, good wiggle to her drop ball, something that she kind of struggled with in game 1 when we saw her in their opening round of this tournament. She wasn't getting the down ball called for a strike, so she was forced to bring it up, and Canada kind of took advantage, but now she's just been absolutely rolling in the circle.
It'll be Slovikova, Shabilova, and Shvetsova due up for Czechia here in the top of the 5th inning. Slovikova has one of just the 2 hits for Czechia in this game. As tops that one, this is going to be a tough play at third. Pageant, not in time.
And for Pageant, I think she had a chance at that play. It was a slow roller off the bat, but watch how pitcher Sheely's kind of in the throwing lane, and so Pageant does a good job of not throwing it directly at her pitcher, takes some time. Sheely did fall down, but if she immediately picked it up and threw it and Sheely wasn't in the way, I think she would have had the out.
A very tough play regardless, an infield single for Slovikova. She's 2 for 2 in this game, in the 2nd consecutive inning that Czechia has had the leadoff runner on. Now the left-handed Shabilova standing in, lined out to left field. That was the great play from Broughton on the foul ball where she was at a full stretch to make it happen. Now Czechia, left-handed batter, putting a bunt down could make things interesting here in the top of the 5th inning. Shows bunt, lets it skip. Good job by Lewis to keep it in front.
When you're in a pitcher's duel, you got to scratch a run across any way you can, especially a down ball pitcher. Can't expect to be able to tie a game with just one swing. Drop ball pitchers don't give up very many home runs, so I like this approach by Czechia, trying to go to a little bit of the small ball, make and force South Carolina to make a play. First ball in play, they weren't able to get an out, so make them try and do it again.
Went upstairs. That time Lewis had to get out of the crouch. And Czechia has made their way through the regionals and into this tournament behind timely hitting. And looking for a timely hit. They've had just one runner in scoring position. Check swing foul.
And that's the recipe for winning championships. It starts with pitching, and Sveskova in the circle's been doing a good job. Then second, it's always about defense, limiting those miscues, and third, it's about clutch hitting. So it's not always scoring a ton of runs, it's when you're able to score runs.
2-2 count. Likely takes the bunt out of the equation. That'll work, line drive. Broughton there, though, to make the snag. Shabilova gave it a ride for the 2nd time.
The 5th inning, we're seeing adjustments from both teams, more line drives. Shapova did a great job of just level through this swing. Made an adjustment from previous foul ball. She fouled it off right into the fencing in front of us, just a little bit late. This time more on time, but Broughton did a good job in left field, tracking it down, dealing with a little bit of left detail.
2nd time that Shabilova is lined out to Broughton in left field, 1 away. First pitch ball off of the outside corner to Marketa Shvetsova.
Svetskova's dream is to be a professional softball player, and I love that that's an opportunity now for players.
Back up the middle, 1 out single by Shvetskova. Czechia with a runner in scoring position as they go base to base.
Against a drop ball pitcher, that's what you got to think, base to base, past the bat mentality. Like I said earlier, it's not going to be some big home run. They're doing a much better job of getting their barrel on plane with the ball, just enough to get a full barrel, hitting it hard. It starts with getting your body in the right path, getting that back knee below the ball. So adjustments on both sides.
Bunt skips away, runner going to third. She's in. Czechia with some aggressive base running and paying off.
And this is all about the slide from base runner Slavikova, sliding to the back of the bag. The throw was on time, but because it made for a further tag for Savannah Paget, it gave her enough time to go to the back of the bag and be safe. I think sliding techniques are a little bit underrated in the game of softball. It's such a game of inches, bang, bang plays, and it always depends on where you slide into the bag, front, back.
Jitka Horova going to the home plate umpire, Andrew Shriver. We may get a pinch runner here. This is the first time that Czechia has had multiple base runners on in an inning. And now they're both in scoring position on the opposite side. Brian Jones out into the circle. Have to imagine discussing defensively what the decision is going to be, making sure everybody knows their assignment.
Yeah, if I'm Brian Jones, I'm going to tell my infield to play in. We know we're in a pitcher's duel. We know runs are hard to come by. Do not let this run score. But it looks like his middle infielders are actually playing further back behind the baseline. They even have first baseline open for a potential bunt. If Fribova could put something down that way, she would have a pretty easy chance at scoring this run.
So Fribova grounded out to Sheely in her last at bat, and we are going to get a pinch runner coming in. Eliska Kotazova will run at third.
Johanna Bayankova.
Emma Fribova.
Batter is number 6, Emma Fribova.
Now, so Fribova is the batter on the roster. It is the number 9 hitter, so we got our situations and our substitutions all set to go. It's a 1 ball. That one stays high.
Hey, make a play, know what you're doing.
Fribova, favorite TV show Stranger Things, and we all know stranger things have happened in the game of softball. Got to the backstop, runner on the move, we're tied! Ball got away. Runner will stay at third, but how about that? Kotazova getting a great jump as that one got to the backstop.
She was prepared for her moment coming off the bench, a pinch runner immediately when the ball was kicked away, no hesitation, gets into home. Lewis made the throw down the third after, and you have to point out Wheeler's backup, because if that ball got past the shortstop backing up the throw to third, that's another run.
Chopped. Sheely checks the runner over to first, gets the out. That's a great job by Sheely, making sure that she held the runner.
So let's go back and take a look at that wild pitch out of the hand of Sheely. Just gets away of Lewis, the catcher. No hesitation from the runner at third, but watch the throw from Lewis. Going to third, heads up by Wheeler, the shortstop, to be backing up, not giving up on the play. We've talked about it earlier. South Carolina always has a team mantra that's based on a movie. Right now, their mantra is Aliens, based off Toy Story. The N in that acronym stands for next play. And that was a prime example of the next play for South Carolina. Wheeler, the shortstop, backing up to keep this game tied.
Rolls the lineup over to the leadoff batter, Johanna Barankova. Well, how about the move, too, by Jitka Horova to put in Eliska Kotazova to be able to get that tying run. That could have been tough.
Coaches, they always have kind of that feeling. A lot of times when you ask them why do they go to certain situations or certain players, oftentimes it's from the facts, but sometimes it's just the feeling that they get. And you got a feeling that something was about to happen. You even mentioned it. You said you've seen stranger things in softball. That was kind of a strange way of scoring. More unusual than the usual base hit.
A little bit less straightforward. An 0-2 count, 1-1 game. Barankova with a runner in scoring position. Put in play to the shortstop. Wheeler has it. Got her by a step. but not before Czechia ties the game up on a wild pitch. It's a whole new ball game as we go to the home half of the fifth.
1 run on 2 hits.
Welcome back. 1-all in the bottom of the fifth inning. A pitcher's duel for sure. Nil Shvestkova has been dialing it in, really filling up the strike zone with a rise ball. She already has 8 strikeouts on the day. And after this pitch, Riley, I want to have you answer a question. Is that one roped by Lainey Stevens?
That's how we want to do it.
That may answer the question when you're facing a rise ball pitcher that has been as dialed in as Shvestkova.
Yeah, there's 2 things you can do. One thing, identify the pitch. If you're going to go for it, you got to have a swing just like Lainey Stevens, and that is a flat barrel. Almost think sort of like a tomahawk swing. You want to be top half of the ball. Almost think sometimes like you're chopping wood. You got to overcorrect until your swing can be flat, but the first part is identifying the pitch, and that is based on repetition. Seeing rise balls out of pitchers' hands. The more you see them, the more you're able to identify the spin of it. And I mentioned it kind of in the first inning, the delivery from Nila Shvestkova, she kind of has almost like a delayed release where she's coming off the mound and then her arm whips. So something that these South Carolina batters haven't seen this tournament, probably haven't seen very much. So dealing with the timing, as well as identifying what part of the zone they're going for.
Shvestkova going for the top part of the zone, which is the right idea against a potential sacrifice bunt, but it just got a little bit too high over Slovikova that allowed Stevens to advance to second. That was the first hit of the tournament for Lainey Stevens. Infield still playing in. Chandler Botnight, ball off of the outside corner. Botnight in the DP flex, coming in for Evie Adeline to bat in this position. Bunted, but foul. Now, were you a front of the box hitter against a rise ball pitcher, or were you back of the box?
You know what, I was neutral in the box, just about every single pitcher. It really didn't matter what they threw unless it was a team-wide game plan. And that's just because if I'm constantly moving up or back in the box, it's changing how a pitch looks to me as a batter. It's very specific from where I stood. Unless you're facing someone like Carlin Pickens throwing 70 plus, I'm going to probably be neutral. Unless it's her, I'm going to scoot all the way back.
Great pitch there by Shvestkova to climb the ladder on the outside part of the plate. 2 strikes now to Chandler Botnight.
And this is what we're talking about, being able to spin a ball. Her fingers are getting underneath the ball and then allowing that to spin it upwards. It's so hard to identify out of the hand.
Botnight swung on and missed. 9 strikeouts now, maybe none bigger than that one for Shvestkova.
What a way for Sveskova to shut down some of the momentum that South Carolina had with that first runner getting on. Going right at Bach Knight, 3 rise balls. I think she's getting better as the game goes along, finding more comfortability with the zone, with how she's wanting to spin it. In South Carolina, they're not laying off the rise ball, so that should give her even more confidence.
Czechia still pulling the infield in for Emma Grace Birchman, fouls that one right back into the fence. And if you take a broader picture, an unfortunate break perhaps for South Carolina that they've seen Cassandra Turmel, who had 11 strikeouts in the opener yesterday, and then turning around today and having to face Sveskova, who is pitching a whale of a game.
Yeah, they have had a tough tournament so far with the pitching that they've had to go against. Both international teams probably don't know anything about them.
Chopped, gloved to first, out is made, but the runner does advance over to third.
One of the few ground balls that we have seen in this game. An adjustment from Birchmore to get on top of it, does a job, moves a runner over, but the defense behind Sveskova having her back. Oftentimes with rise ball pitchers, when your defense behind you doesn't get very many ground balls, the first time you get a ground ball, you kind of are sped up, you're not used to it, maybe on your heels, so that's a really good job by Czechia's defense to be able to get that out.
Mindy Wheeler, first pitch swinging. She struck out both times today. That was the first and the third inning.
And that first swing, she was pretty late. So for having 2 at-bats, it almost seemed like she second-guessed herself on that swing. When you're facing rise ball, you really want to wait to the last second sometimes as a batter to be able to identify it. Best way to counter that, trust your eyes. You've put in a lot of work. Trust them and go for it.
Left that one high. Good eye from Wheeler. Wheeler has recorded a hit in both games played to this point in the tournament. Fouled back. Wheeler not missing that ball by much.
Definitely better timing from Wheeler. The adjustment that I'm looking to see from her is to try and hit a ground ball, because based on her swing right now, if she tries to hit a ground ball, it's probably going to become a line drive. So just getting top half of the zone, if she's continuing to go for the rise ball, just over adjust.
Easier said than done for sure.
Definitely.
The 1-2 went back upstairs. That looked like the off-speed rise, just left it too far out. Czechia making their 2026 World Series debut. Did not take to the field yesterday. They have been up to the challenge against South Carolina. Wheeler, slow roller. Sveskova and Czechia work around a leadoff single, 1-1. We head to the 6th. Fans have been treated to a fantastic experience here in Lower Sussex, Delaware, just 2 days into this 2026 Senior League Softball World Series. Still plenty of action left ahead. We're going to crown a champion on Sunday, so we are just getting started. And what a fantastic game to play early on here between South Carolina and Czechia, tied 1-1 in the 6th inning. Kate Shealy's solo home run in the 2nd inning to get the scoring going before Czechia tying things up in the top of the 5th on a wild pitch. Got 2 innings or more maybe left to go.
And in pitchers' duels, like we have one going right now, it's usually decided between 1, maybe 2 plays. So tied up, it's a 0-0 ball game. Now every play just has that much more pressure on it. But that's what the game of softball, that's what makes it so fun, is I always liked close ball games. The 10-0, 14-15-0, those weren't as fun to me. I like the tough competition, that pressure moment. Obviously, it's a lot more fun when you come out on top.
Depends on how I played. Friedlova, Yadelska, and Ringlerova 2 up. Chopped on the ground. Wheeler had it skip up off of the heel of the glove. 3rd consecutive inning that Czechia's had a leadoff batter on.
I talked about 1 or 2 plays. This might be one of them. Watch Wheeler's approach to this ball. She fields it, or starts to field it as a normal ground ball, then last second tries to make the adjustment to the backhand, wasn't able to quite work through it. I do think that was a backhandable ball, but the spin off of it, the bounces, that made for a tough play either way.
Well, that has been the calling card for Kate Shealy in this game. Balls on the ground. That one stays high, though, to Bara Yadelska, who is 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to 2nd. And then a fly out to left field. They did rule that play an error. Like the move there by Yadelska, stepping out, getting herself settled. And as we get later into this game, again, first game of the tournament for Czechia, you can start to see those nerves pop up a little bit. Oh, no nerves there. Laced into the left center field gap. Friedlova into 3rd. Monster double off of the bat of Yadelska.
That was probably the hardest hit ball we have seen in this tournament. Look at her rotational forces. That swing looked effortless, but the ball flew off the bat. When you're sequenced as well as Yadelska just was, it looks like you're not swinging hard. Ball was hit so hard, it didn't give Friedlova enough time to get home. We've seen balls in these gaps and runners easily scoring from first to home. But that ball was just a shot off the bat.
First extra base hit of the game for Czechia, and now they're in business. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Brian Jones headed to the circle to talk things over with Shealy and his defense.
Yeah, and it's a good decision to talk to his infield because they were playing back to start that first pitch. And in a tie ball game, when runs are at a premium, you got to play inside the baseline, any part that you can make sure your arm is strong enough to get out at home.
We've seen South Carolina make some tremendous defensive plays from behind the plate in the field, and now really going to be tested because no one's out rather. 2 runners on, and you are getting into the heart of the order. 4, 5, 6 if you're Czechia. These are your run producing spots.
Yeah, and I do wonder what the conversation was with Brian Jones, because the right side of this infield for South Carolina, and now even the shortstop for South Carolina, the lure is playing back, so it looks like they're giving up what would be the go-ahead run.
Hard on the ground, Shealy got the comebacker. That is the 3rd time that she has been able to induce a ground ball right back to the circle.
And there's no better time to get that ground ball than no one out. You need an out. Hard hit to her, no time for the runners to be able to move up. If I'm Czechia, I'm going to purposely try and hit a ground ball to the right side. Give my base run at 3rd as much time as possible, maybe even scoot off the plate so I can drive an inside pitch, inside out it to the opposite way. Anything I can to score a run.
Yurochkova, oh, the squeeze was on, tried to go after it. It was up and out of the zone, did her job to protect the runner. It'll be a strike.
Yeah, with the squeeze play, you have to put bat on ball, even if it was a ball and that ball was going to be probably on the outside corner. If that ball goes all the way through to catcher Lewis, it makes for a pretty easy play at home for the catcher. Just tag a runner coming in, maybe even get them into a pickle.
I love the aggressive call, though, by Orava. High chopper, this could play to run. It will. RBI grounds out. Czechia manufacturing runs as they take the lead.
It's a great job. Textbook softball, runners getting on, runners moving over. And then the clutch hitting we've talked about. This pitch is on the outside corner. And Urotova pulls it a little bit up the middle, but just because it's up the middle gives the runner enough time to get home. Good job by South Carolina to get an out. I think the positioning worked in South Carolina's favor that time because they're playing back. They're able to cover more ground up the middle versus 2 runs potentially scoring on that ball if it gets through.
Slovikova coming to the plate. She's 2 for 2 today. Singled in the second, singled and scored in the 5th. The only player with multiple hits for Czechia in this game. Favorite movies, Frozen. I bet she'd settle for a little Frozen rope right about now. Great job from Lewis.
And you can see Kate Sheely basically walk all the way to home plate, pointing at her catcher. You can see her tell her great job with a smile on her face. As a former catcher, there's no better feeling than blocking a ball and then your pitcher being that much more thankful. Just that battery unit, that bond that you have, it's special.
Coaches tell us that Slovikova, highly focused, intelligent player, goes to the right side. What a grab! The flip! Are you kidding? Emma Grace Birchmore saving a run. South Carolina gets out of the inning on a web gem to keep it a 1-run game.
Emma Grace Birchmore laying out, saving a run, the full Superman, then the toss to first, trying to get her team back in this game, down by 1, going to the bottom of the 6th.
Welcome back. Czechia making a change in the circle. Shveskova exits after 5 complete innings. They will turn it over to Klara Dostalova as South Carolina gets into their order for the 3rd time.
And Klara Dostalova is the youngest player on this team. She can pitch up to 65 miles per hour, works on the bottom half of the zone, so the complete opposite of Shveskova, who was all rise ball. So late in this inning, serves as a reliever. A completely different look for South Carolina, so they just kind of adjusted in the past couple innings of hitting more line drives against a rise ball. Now another task in front of them, a 65-mile-per-hour drop ball, but Dorian, I mentioned it, youngest on the team. So a little bit of nerves. You got a 1-run lead, your first game in this tournament.
2 balls have stayed low. 2-0 to Broughton. Broughton singled and was stranded at 3rd. Back in the 4th inning, and be Broughton, Paget, and Sheely due up here 2-3-4 And again, when you're getting into that meat of the order in a one-run game, as a coaching staff, you might want to switch things up. Broughton swinging through the offering. That final line on Shveskova. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, the solo shot from Sheely. 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Now Shveskova would be able to re-enter if needed.
Yeah, I can't lie. When we saw Shveskova in the dugout, we were kind of wondering why, because of how phenomenal she was in the circle. But like I said earlier, changing the complete different path of this ball, more down in the zone. And sometimes coaches, they just have that feeling, we talked about it earlier, of making those pitching changes or those substitutions. But I do think I like this because it felt like South Carolina was getting adjusted to seeing the rise ball out of the hand of Shveskova. Wasn't necessarily putting back-to-back hits on it, but once you see someone 3 times, you start to see some of their tendencies.
Wojtek Kasper out into the circle. There was some mud around the rubber earlier in the game. They're wetting it down in between. Now, we haven't had rain today. We did have rain yesterday. Fields are in very good condition. But as you know from being behind the plate and around the mound, you can have some loose dirt.
Yeah, we even saw Canada's pitcher yesterday, Trammell. She slipped because of some of the mud after the game had gone a couple innings. So picked up that mud and slipped after throwing a pitch.
Also going out, that last pitch was called an illegal pitch, so it's a 3-1 count. Well, same result, line down the right field line, 3-2 now.
So these foul balls to the right side tells me that Broughton's behind on this drop ball. She's throwing in the upper 60s, so a little bit faster than Shveskova, who was the pitcher last inning.
Payoff pitch. Skips in the dirt as Broughton draws a leadoff walk.
Broughton has had some really good at-bats, especially behind Mindy Miller, who has really been the catalyst for this offense. Today, Miller hasn't got a hit. Addie Broughton stepping up, serving as the leadoff in this inning. That was a really good at-bat. First time seeing a new pitcher, very patient, and getting to a 3-2 count. Staying patient and disciplined, not going for that down ball.
Savannah Paget hit a rocket of a line drive in her last at-bat that was snagged by Fribova out in center field. Paget takes that one high. You go back to the regional tournament where South Carolina was down in their opening game, sent it to extra innings, won it on a walk-off home run. Played in a scoreless game in the regional championship, found a way to win that game 1-0. This is a team that always believes. Paget hard through the right side, off the edge of the glove. Broughton held up for a moment. Now she's headed to third. The throw not in time. Broughton will move as both runners into scoring position.
Just a good job to continue to move up. Paget staying inside of this ball, and then it's deflected by the second baseman, Barankova. At first, Broughton, the lead runner, kind of held up at second. She didn't know it kicked away, had to keep her eyes up on third base coach Brian Jones. And now it looks like South Carolina in a similar position.
And Sheely with another opportunity to help herself. No one on, 2 runners in scoring position. The Czechia infield is in as Sheely takes a called first strike.
Now when you see this infield in as a base runner, you got to look at the outfield. And the outfield looks like they're playing at normal depth. So specifically, if you're the runner on second, you know anything poked over the infield's head, you have a great shot at scoring because of the gap between infield and outfield.
To third, tough up off the shoulder. Everybody's safe. South Carolina takes the lead. Or excuse me, South Carolina, we are tied.
Pressure on the defense never fails in the game of softball. Paget hitting this ball hard makes for a really tough play for the third baseman, Fridova. And she looks like in some pain. That was hit hard. It came up, hit her on the shoulder. I hope she's okay.
Manager Jitka Horva out in the circle to talk to the defense, check on her third baseman. Danger time not over for Czechia. They've got runners on the corners, nobody out, and a tie game 2-2 after just scratching out a run to take the lead in the top of the 6th inning. And Riley, in these moments, how do you resettle as a defense?
You just gotta tell yourself, get an out. Anything you can to get an out. They're still expected to play in, save a run. Runs come out of premium and pitchers duels. But Kate Sheely, have yourself a day, hitting the ball hard, had the home run earlier. Now hits it hard to third base, kicks away, able to score another run for her team.
First and third play being relayed to the infield by Slovikova. Sheely is on first, Paget on third. Great job, throw down to third, not in time. It will allow Sheely to advance to second base.
Now if you're Lewis, the batter, especially with a drop ball pitcher, you really gotta think, lift this ball, get it to the outfield, less than 2 or no outs. Anything that's deep to the outfield scores a run. You don't have to be the hero and get a base hit. Just put some pressure on this defense or a deep fly ball.
Lewis hard in play to second base. Only plays to first, it's misplayed. 2 runs come in to score. South Carolina putting pressure on Czechia as they played 2 more. It's a 4-2 lead.
Pressure on the defense, back-to-back for South Carolina. Lewis able to go the opposite way with the drop ball, hits it hard enough to create a bobble, and then a little bit of a miscue there at first base by Ringlovera.
So Czechia going to the bench once again. We will have our third pitcher of the evening, Lucer Halankova, taking over for Dostalova. All after the starter Shvestkova went 5 innings, struck out 9 before giving way to Dostalova to start the inning.
And we talked about it coming into this inning, kind of the reasoning behind taking out the starter with 9 strikeouts, maybe giving South Carolina a different look. But having been in close ball games where you can't quite get to a pitcher, any pitching change serves as giving you momentum if you're the offensive team, because you finally can take a breath. You don't have to continue to fight against the same pitcher who's been dominating. But coaches, they always have those feelings of what works, what doesn't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But a good opportunity here for number 17, Lucy Halamkova. She throws a change, rise, drop, gets a lot of miss hits. She's the only pitcher on their staff with a screwball, so that's going to break away from lefty batters, break in towards righty batters. So for a slapper right now, Rylan Earl, it's going to be breaking away from her. So she's got to keep that front shoulder closed, try and play maybe a little bit of pepper towards the left side of the field.
Dostalova still responsible for Lewis standing on first. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning, as South Carolina has plated 3 to take a 4-2 lead in the late stages of the game. Infield drawn in against Earl, who popped up in her last at bat, shows bunt, leaves it high. Lewis tempting the throw back in time.
There's the screwball that I just mentioned, going away from Rylan Earl, called a ball. It's going to be important that Lucy Halamakova can spot that pitch.
Earl was one of the players involved in that 1-0 win over Georgia in the regional final, had the leadoff hit. Shows bunt, pulls back. So 2 balls out of the hand of Halankova after coming on in relief for Dostalova. if you're Czechia. Got to find a way to get a first out here. Earl shows bunt. Catches the outside corner for a called strike.
Yeah, that first out sometimes is the hardest out to get of an inning. When things have kind of unraveled for defense a little bit, it seems almost impossible. But right now, if you're Czechia getting out, if it takes you up the middle, you got to force out. If not, get the out at 1.
Plenty of energy coming from the South Carolina dugout. Earl shows bunt, pulls back. More called strike on the outside corner, caught the lower part of the zone.
Dorian, that energy coming from the dugout. It sounds a little bit different from some of the other energy that we've seen from them in their first 2 games. They had 2 tough losses. So, you know, being up late in a ball game that's been close means a lot to them to get on the right track.
Got a chance to talk to Stephanie Jones earlier today. She said the team's never stopped smiling. She wouldn't expect anything less. 2-2. Earl swung and missed. First strikeout recorded for Holonkova.
And Holonkova coming in and getting that first out, doing a good job using that screwball in the outer half, but spotting it low.
Number 12.
Made it really hard for Earl, the slapper, to get a barrel on it. That's what you want from a pitcher coming into a ball game that's kind of unraveled, is you want them to go right at batters, throw some strikes, give yourself a chance.
Lainey Stevens roped a single to the left side in her last at bat. It was her first hit of the tournament. Takes a ball on the outside part of the plate there. Favorite singer is Olivia Rodrigo. Down to first. A good throw, but Lewis back in time. Now don't sleep on Lainey Stevens. She had a walk-off home run in the first game of the regional tournament, so she has that kind of pop. The 1-1. Right on the inside corner. Stevens didn't agree, but it's a called strike by Andrew Shriver.
And now with 2 strikes, she's got to foul that one off if it's close. It looks to be that inside corner, that screwball. That's Holonkova's best pitch, is being called for a strike. So try and shoot your hips faster and hit it foul if you can.
1-2. Came back over the plate, ground ball, lead runner at first, or at second rather, to first. Stevens able to leg it out, but a good job by Barankova going to Yadelska to get the second out.
And a really good job by Barankova to flip those hips, textbook way to turn a double play. You thought because of that ball being hit as hard as it was, that Czechia was going to have a chance to get a double play. You saw some emotion from the shortstop, Yadelska. She almost wanted to tell her coaches a challenge. She went in motion, kind of the headphones. You saw some conversation back and forth. Ultimately decided not to challenge it.
Second at bat for Chandler Botnight, who started the game in right field. That DP flex position gives coaches flexibility in terms of being able to insert players into the lineup. She struck out in her last at bat, and Brian Jones coming to the backstop. I gotta tell you, the wind has really picked up. The temperature has dropped. We started the day in the low 80s. It is feeling much cooler than that right now. Well, this Botnight favorite school subject, forensic science.
I wasn't really a science or math type student. I always liked the writing part. Gotta give it to the science. Some of the experiments that you do, I had to tell my partners, you can take it from here.
Harper Sherrard going to take it from there as the pinch runner for Stevens out at first base. Called strike. A 0-2 count on Botnight. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-run lead for South Carolina. The 0-2. Just off the outside corner, tried to get her to bite with the screwball.
It was a good take by Bach Knight. If you see a few outside pitches, your mind usually wants to swing at something that's there as well. Ooh, it's hard to tell. She crossed the plate with that barrel. To the bare eye of an umpire, that's a really hard swing to call yes or no on.
Chopped foul. It's a moot point now, but Slavikova didn't ask for an appeal down to third base, so felt like the call perhaps was correct.
Yeah, softball and all the plays that you can see on replay, that's one of the hardest ones to get right in real time. I caught all the time, and that was even hard for me to see.
We'll do the 1-2 again. Just up and out, 2-2. Great at bat here from Bach Knight, getting down in the count and now battling.
I love her composure in the box. Just been super calm and collected.
The 2-2. Chopped. Down to manager Brian Jones. Looking ahead to the top of the 7th inning, it'll be Shvilova, Shvedova, and Fribova due up for the Czech Republic, or excuse me, the Czechia, pending any substitutions. It'll be 7, 8, 9. 2-2. Chopped to third. Strong throw in time to retire Bach Knight. Halankova does her job, goes 1, 2, 3 to shut the door, but Czechia down to their final 3 outs as we head to the 7th. It was 1-1 through 5 full innings and then an explosion of offense in the 6th.
Yeah, it started with Czechia getting a run across, textbook softball, lead runners getting on, and then a couple bobbles from Czechia to allow South Carolina to score, them taking advantage. Lewis here, the hard hit to the right side. A bobble allows another run to score. The momentum is definitely on South Carolina's side, and you can see it after they score the last run. In that 6th inning, everyone jumping up, especially Sheely in the circle. What a day she's had. A monstrous home run. And putting some pressure on the defense last inning. The hit to third that scored a run was off of her bat.
Now Czechia has scored in back-to-back innings. They plated one in the 5th to tie, one in the 6th to take the lead. As Cloudy Shvilova takes a first pitch strike. She's lined out twice to left field in the game. Takes that low and out, 1-1. And Czechia has gotten the leadoff batter on in 3 consecutive innings.
I really think they've started to make that adjustment against Kate Sheely in the circle. It's a matter of putting at bats together.
Good swing, just foul. This is the bottom part of the order, 7, 8, 9. Should anybody reach, that would roll us over to the top of the order, and Johanna Barankova, who was 0 for 2 today.
Yeah, so if you're South Carolina, you go right at the bottom of the lineup. You don't want to get back to the top because they've seen you multiple times already. So it's important and essential to get a very first out of the inning so you don't roll it back over.
Stays up and out, disciplined at bat, and this again is where you go back to Czechia being able to rely on their discipline at the plate, using timely hitting and not feeling like the moment is too big.
Yeah, when we talked to their coaches, they said that they work counts, they're very patient up to bat, and you've seen that today.
2-2. Tapped foul. That's a great reach there by Shabilva.
Yeah, what a way to foul that ball off. Sometimes it's all about just sticking your bat out, getting a tiny piece of the ball to keep yourself alive.
Two. Low in the dirt, full count.
It starts to feel like this is a very crucial at bat for both sides. South Carolina wanting to get that first out, setting them up to get out of this inning and get a win. Czechia getting a first runner on.
First walk of the game issued by Sheely, and Czechia has the leadoff runner on.
And that's exactly the type of at-bat you want if you are Czechia. Patient one, working counts to get on base, putting the pressure on the pitcher in this moment. Sheely knows she needs 3 outs to win this ball game, so make her come to you as a batter. Especially a drop ball pitcher, make them bring it up in the zone for hittable pitches.
Shvetsova check swing. It does skip away, and so Shabilva into scoring position. Shvetsova recorded a single in her last at bat, was stranded at 5th. Now if you're Czechia, you need base runners. 1 run not going to do it. You need at least 2 to extend this game.
Yeah, and that's a big difference on that previous play. A runner on first, now a runner on second. There's no force out now. So South Carolina can't get a double play, so that was actually a really important play for Czechia.
Shvetsova out in front of the drop ball off the outside corner as Sheely working ahead in the count, 0-2.
Look at this off speed from Sheely. Svetkova really wanted that. She pulled off of it just a little bit early, but a great pitch by Sheely.
Line off the hands. Runner being held at third. And a good job out in center field by Earl to get the ball in quickly, but Czechia refusing to go down.
A great swing by the batter, Svetkova. She didn't stride on that one, so a 2-strike approach, taking the timing aspect away, just relying on that hand-eye coordination, poking the ball through. I do like the decision to not send the runner home. You need 2 runs to score. Yes, you can challenge it, put some pressure on the defense, but giving up an out at home when you're down by 2, you got to plate 2 anyway, so you might as well hold them up, give the next batter a chance to do some damage.
Fribova is grounded out to Sheely both times today. It takes the first pitch strike. Shvetsova on the move. South Carolina going to let her go without a fight, so runners on second and third. That's the tying run on second base. Nobody out.
And South Carolina is still playing back. With every time Czechia has had runners on base, they have played behind the base path. So basically telling Czechia,
chopper. This is going to be a tough play. Sheely to first, got the out, but a run comes in. Runner to third, she's safe. Quality at bat for Emma Fribova.
that swinging bunt almost getting top half of this ball. It looked like it even might have touched a bit of the plate. Good job by Sheely to get an out. Your only other option really on that play is to pump fake it to first, catch the runner potentially going home and getting her out at home. But Sheely, it's important to get the out. But now the tying run is on third base. Gonna put in a pinch runner.
It's going to be Teresa Vimrova. coming in to run at third base in place of Shvetsova. That represents the tying run standing 60 feet away. And to your point, that play by Sheely, very, very difficult. That ball's a slow roller. Fribova runs well, one of the fastest players on this team. And really, your only options, you're right. You got to throw it, you got to hold it. Because the last thing you want to do is potentially risk throwing the ball away. And then both runs come in. And we had seen them playing back. Different story now, infield. Coming in. And Sheely drawing the defense to her.
Yeah, they know how big this situation is. You got to be smart. You got to play in, play in to the point where you understand your own range. So it might look different for different players, how far back they play. You got to be able to field a ground ball and get the ball to home plate so Lewis, the catcher, can apply a tag. If you're up by 1, you do not want to go to the bottom half of the inning. You'd rather get it done in the top half with some good defense.
So the bottom of the order for Czechia doing their job. 7, 8, 9, rolling the lineup over to the top for Barankova, Frydlova, Yadelska. Are you potentially laying down a bunt here, or are you trying to put the ball in play, potentially a sac fly situation?
Barankova is a slapper, and she's able to soft slap it. So I might not even call it a bunt. I might have her soft slap it, bring the shortstop in, make it for a really tough play at home plate.
Other option is to try and drive and get a high hop as she takes a first pitch strike. Field looks like it's playing a little soft. There's a layer of loose dirt. Barankova 0 for 2. That was the 100th pitch of the game is upcoming for Sheely. Puts down the bunt. There it is. Squeezes on. She's out. Barankova back to the bag in time. A gutsy call by Czechia, but Lewis coming up big.
If you're Barankova, you want to pull it to the right side on the bunt. As a lefty batter, Lewis, the catcher, she had her eye on the base run at third the entire time. She could see out the corner of her eye her crashing in to try and score. Very heads up by Lewis to not rush, to make sure she had the ball secure in her glove and apply the tag. That's a momentum killer for Czechia, but a great play by Lewis.
Barankova on the move. It does help to have your leadoff batter with speed on the base paths as she's moved herself into scoring position for Frydlova, who has been on twice today, singled in the 4th, reached and scored in the 6th.
It was really gutsy going back to the last play by Czechia to go to that squeeze bunt with the lefty batter, so the batter's not blocking the catcher's view at all of the runner coming in.
Frydlova takes a called strike. It's 1-1. What an entertaining debut we've had for Czechia here in this 2026 World Series, down to their final out against South Carolina. 1-1. Ball in the dirt. Barankova into third. The wheels coming in handy.
And how about that base running? A gutsy squeeze play, but gutsy base running. As soon as this ball was down, no hesitation, keeps her hips facing third. That's the most important part. If you break down and open up your hips, you gotta restart it. And so she lands in the position that she was up to bat when she tried that bunt.
Frydlova, chopper, Sheely to first. It's fitting. A complete game victory for Sheely. Another ground ball out that she gloves over to first in time as South Carolina holds on for the 4-3 victory.
And what a game. South Carolina, 2 tough losses to start their tournament. This one, a pitcher's duel. Sheely wanted the ball. Great at-bats by her. Great fight by both teams. Czechia, their opening game, lots of stuff to love for both sides. Czechia, first game, they can take a lot of positives away.
Lots of good things to come from this matchup as South Carolina picks up their first victory here in the World Series of 2026. Czechia, a heartbreaker, but they will have more softball left to play, and so do we. 2 games down, 1 left to play here on Lions Field, so don't go anywhere. First pitch coming up around 8 o'clock local time. So for Riley West, our entire crew here in Delaware, I'm Dorian Kraft saying so long, Texas and Delaware. It's coming up next.